So, it is 1 week since I uploaded the first video to this channel saying that I am starting a weight loss journey. And I'm going to say I'm very proud of the progress I've made over the last week. However, I don't think I'll be able to keep it up for too long. I might be able to do it for a few months or so, but then I'm going to have to try and lower the amount of weight loss a little bit just so that it's sustainable, because when you hear the results, you'll probably understand why. But it's good news. Don't panic thinking that I'm putting weight on or anything like that. And what we're going to do is start this one off with just talking a little bit about the week. Not too much, not getting into loads and loads of detail, because I do other videos on the channel as well. If I'm having a bad day or a really good day, I will always document it in its own video. But if we start this one off, I'm going to put the topless photos from this week on the screen. It's going to be front, back and side. And I mean, I've not lost a huge amount of weight in the last week, so the difference between last week and this week may not be that significant. And it all started on the 31st of July. I uploaded that video, the very first one on the channel. And then after, maybe half an hour after, I started doing my weightlifting, and it was a really, really bad time. I felt fatigued, I felt weaker, the weights felt a lot heavier, and I actually cut my workout a little bit short just to prevent full-blown fatigue, burnout, injury, and everything like that. So what I did was a little bit of a shorter workout with the weights, and I just let my body rest, and then I've returned back to normal, the weights ever since, because I typically do them every other day. And at the moment, I'm only really training upper body. I'm doing the walking and stuff, which is helping with the leg muscles, but I'm not trying to massively improve my lower body just yet. But the 31st of July wasn't the greatest. Let my body rest, and my sleep is all over the place. And it was at its absolute worst on Saturday, the 2nd of August, because I spent the entire day with my family. I was on my feet for somewhere between 14 and 16 hours. I was awake for 30 hours in total, and I did 25,000 steps, whilst not getting that many calories into my body. I still had a couple of thousand, but after all of the calories I burned that day, I was very close to actually being near a 0-calorie intake for the day overall. I think it ended up somewhere between 500 and 1,000 calories, and I'm supposed to be on somewhere around 3,000 for the day to be in a 1,000 calorie deficit. My maintenance is 4,100 roughly. But other than that, and the sleep messing me up a little bit, because literally last night, so my sleep on the Wednesday, I went to sleep at about 6 in the evening, which is a massive improvement. But then I woke up 4 hours later, and at 10 p.m. I got up. I couldn't go back to sleep straight away. I was up for about half an hour, then went back to bed, and I slept for another 5 hours. So I did get 9 hours overall, but it was broken sleep, and it really messes with my body and everything when my sleep is broken. Just that disturbed sleep doesn't let me recover and get full energy and stuff. But other than that, it's been fantastic. What I'm going to do now is put the results on screen, and we're going to talk about, we're going to go through the comparison of last week to this week. So at the moment, I am 159.9 kilos, and that means I am down 2.1 kilos in a week. And that's why I said it's not going to be sustainable in the long term, because my aim is to lose roughly 1 kilo a week. That's my goal, to lose 1 kilo a week until I'm down to somewhere between 110 and 115. So yeah, I lost 2.1, which is the equivalent of about, I'm going to say 4.5 pounds, that sort of area. However, alongside that, my body fat has gone from 48.6% down to 47.7%. So I lost 0.9% body fat in a week as well. And because of that, my BMI has gone down from 44.9 to 44.3, so that's a 0.6 decrease. My fat-free mass has gone up 0.4 kilos. My subcutaneous fat has gone from 40.9 down to 40.2, so that's a 0.7 decrease. And then my visceral fat, the one that's very dangerous, traps itself around your organs, the really, really bad fat in your body, I believe it's supposed to be somewhere around 13. Mine was 27 last week, but we are now down to 26. So I've actually lost a bit of visceral fat as well. And then on top of that, my muscle mass is sitting at 79.4 kilos, which is up from 79.1. So that's a 0.3 kilo increase in the muscle mass as well. So overall, I've had a couple of days here and there where there's been a lack of energy. I had the very first day, so July 31st, after I uploaded that first video, I felt a lot weaker than usual. But besides those couple of dips, I felt really good. And obviously, I'm keeping the calories low. I'm keeping the exercise in as much as I can. That includes cardio, strength training, so on and so forth. And I mean, the results were there on screen. I've lost 2.1 kilos in a week. All of my fat and everything, all of the percentages are coming down. My muscle mass is increasing alongside the fat-free mass. The BMI is coming down. So overall, it's been a really, really good week. And it's actually got to the stage where I've increased the weight that I'm lifting. So I was typically doing 6 reps per set, 3 sets of 15 kilos for a dumbbell row. I'm now doing 20 kg for my 6 rep sets. And it's been mainly between 2.5 and 5 kilo increases. I'm going to try and keep it on the lower end. So if I am doing any more increasing, with the progressive overload, I'm going to try and keep it around 2.5 kilos. Just so that I'm not over pushing it, because I do not want to get injured. Because I think if an injury comes along at any point, it's going to hinder the progress of keeping the muscle on. I don't think it'll really affect the weight loss, but it will hinder my ability to obviously lift weights. Therefore, I might lose a bit of muscle, because at the moment I'm not quite getting enough protein, but because I'm doing the strength training, I think the muscle's sort of sustaining itself. And then also some good news, I went to the doctors. I have a blood test coming up towards the end of this month, unless I can get one booked elsewhere, in another clinic. If I can get one earlier, that's set for the 22nd of August. And then also, because I've mentioned I have severe burning in my left thigh, and I can't really squat because it feels like a load of weight is being added as a pressure to my knees when I try squatting. So on the 12th of September, I also have a physiotherapist appointment booked. So hopefully all of the appointments and stuff can get to the bottom of my current issues. I mean, to be fair, the burning is slightly easing off a little bit, and I will try doing a couple of bodyweight squats every now and then just to kind of get the motion going back in my knees. But if they can get to the bottom of it, they can figure out what's wrong. Hopefully it is just a little bit of muscle issues. Maybe because I'm still very heavy, it might just be something that will get better and better over time. But once we found out if there's making sure there's no underlying issues and stuff, then I should be able to improve everything that I'm already doing. And one thing I've noticed throughout this, because I've always been sort of conscious about my body, I don't know if that's the right term, I've always looked at myself in the mirror and gone, fuck me, you're a big fatty. But now, my clothes are fitting a lot better. T-shirts that didn't fit me, say, 2-3 months ago are now actually getting on me, and some of them are even a little bit on the baggy side now. And not only that, when I'm out and I'm walking along the street, and I'm still massive, don't get me wrong, but looking at my reflection and stuff in windows and things like that, just seeing my own body, I can see that I am starting to get that little bit thinner. And then with my breathing and stuff, just everything is just up and up and up and up and up. It's just improvement after improvement. And I am actually very glad, for the progress that I'm making. I'm proud of what has happened so far. So it's all good news. That is the weight loss update, the very first one. And there will be other videos and stuff on the channel throughout the week. But I will see you guys next Thursday/Friday, depending on how much time and stuff I've got to make a video. I will see you guys next week for the weekly update.